Welcome back, everyone. Well, I really went out of my way on this one. What is behind me? This is Aspen Lodge, and there's one across the street. That is Magnolia Park. They're both kind of a lower middle class to upper lower class apartment complex facility. And their running rates, to give you an idea for the cost of living around this area, roughly about $500, $600 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. However, these one-bedroom apartments are quite big. They're almost 1,000 square feet for a one-bedroom apartment, and they've got washer and dryer hookups inside the units. For your own washer and dryer, you can rent a washer and dryer from them if you like. They've also got fireplaces inside them, as well as dishwashers. All the sinks are installed with sink aerators, garbage disposalers, and all the freezers have ice makers in them. So those are just two complexes within one area. I'm going to go over another one. Really going out of my way on this one. But see that's the Highland apartments here. You can see that. And I'm going to show you, sorry about the wind, I can't do anything about that. I try to cut that out on the audio editing. I'll try. No promises though. But I want to show you something really, you see this shit here. This shit here. And there's one that Magnolia Park. But see this shit here? Oh, look at all this overgrown grass. Look at that. Nothing but overgrown grass. It's a beautiful day outside. It's nice and cloudy. It's dark and dismal. Things are dead. I love it. I'm trying to get to the sign that I'm looking for. Now, let me tell you about this Highland place. This Highland place... Wait till the wind stops blowing. This Highland place is a gated luxury apartment complex, and it is definitely like upper middle class to lower upper class, with one-bedroom apartments that are roughly about, I don't know, I think it's like 500, 600 square feet for $1,000 a month. Look at this. This is all overgrown grass. That's all this shit is. I'm trying to find their lovely little sign that they have. It's so ridiculous. I could have sworn they had one over here. Maybe they removed it because they realized they were milking it for all it was worth. Got another Highland sign. There's Magnolia Park again. Here we go. Found it. Found the fucking sign. We're going to read this. Environmental and wildlife quality eco-enhancement area. This is an eco-preservation area. An eco-preservation area. And all this is not even fucking indigenous. These plants here, these are cold area plants. They don't grow wild here in this state or this region. This grass, some of it might be native, not all of it. This is just all basically overgrown grass. This is their eco-preservation area. And what the eco-preservation area is designed to do is it gives them a break on their electric bill. Not saying that they pass that on to the tenants, but the electric company will give them a discount on their electric bill for having this giant patch of overgrown grass. Meanwhile, the actual organization, the Highlands, because they put this in the area that they did, which is an older part of town with lower class establishments, has caused the rent rate to skyrocket. So apartments that were once maybe like $500 a month are going all the way up to $700 to $800 a month for a one-bedroom unit. Because this place is charging $1,000 for a one-bedroom unit, and they're tiny. They're tiny as shit. I'm not even kidding about this. This is so fucking small. And the thing is that a lot of the other establishments in this area are much older, so they're bigger units, and they were cheaper because it's an older part of town. And they're causing, as I said, the rent rate to go up in the entire area. And this is not the only one, by the way. There are several lofts that have been installed. And I'm not going to use the word gentrification because that implies that they're trying to attack a specific minority group. And that's just not the case. What's happening is they are attacking, basically committing warfare on lower class. There's another one of your little signs, you little fuckers. So now I'm going to show you some lower income households that this wonderful fucking place has fucked. Because it's not just the black communities that live here, or the Latino communities that live here, or the Asian communities that live here, but there's just people in general that are of lower income have suffered the consequences of this being placed in the specific area that it has been. That's echinacea, that's wild. Sorry, sidetrack. I believe that's lilac. See that little lovely lilac plants. But because they placed it in this strategic area, this specific area, it is affecting anyone in the lower class that lives here. Well, this apartment right here behind me, the Village Apartments, is one of the apartment complexes that I would say is in the kind of middle lower class to upper lower class area. These are an older complex with they've got decent sized apartments in here, and they're rather affordable. Roughly about they were going for $500 a month. I actually just talked to somebody who lives in this area. They went from $500 all the way up to $700 a month because of that across the street. And that's not even the only one. There's one more that I want to go over. Alright, so we are now approaching a income-based apartment complex. And see, across the street here we have it's a sister complex to the other one that was, the $500, $600 range for one bedroom apartment, decently sized. They don't have washer and dryer hookups and all that fancy stuff. They're simple apartments for people who have lower incomes. And I don't know if I mentioned, but one of the reasons I wanted to stay away from the word gentrification is gentrification seems to apply to a specific group of minorities. And really, it's not just one minority that is affected by this, it's anybody that lives in lower income. So it's Latinos, it's black people, it's white, it's everybody. Alright, so here I am. This is the 75th Street apartments. They are income-based, and they can go as low as $200, $300 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. And they have been affected by this complex that went up that I spoke of earlier. And I haven't gotten to the juicy bits yet, but I've gone way out of my way on this video. I have taken quite a trot around to get this, but we're going to go over what is so fucked up about their environmental protection area. And do I get the, can I get the 70? Yeah, there it is. So the 79th Street. But the thing that's messed up about the environmental protection, protection, overgrown patches of grass, they give them discounts on their electric bill, which, again, I'm not sure if they pass that savings on to the tenants. And ultimately, it wouldn't cause any problem if they absolutely can install an apartment complex like this here. The problem is that it's starting to affect other people's lives. And that's something that I don't agree with. And the other thing is that this environmental thing, I'm going to get to why that's so fucked up here in just a minute. Provided from the Kansas City Historical Society. I see these trees around. This is going to be of relevance soon. We're at a park now. And I was just going to look this up on the internet, but I figured why not just do this, because, well, it's courtesy of the Kansas City Historical Society, and it's available here anyway. See all these lovely trees. They've been here for quite some time. I just heard a hawk. They do live around here. They're indigenous. I hear it. Nice. And we've got like all those woods and foliage in the background. They've done some upkeeping on this place. I mean, this place did not always used to look so nice. It was kind of 70s built stuff, but not anymore, I guess. So anyway, what I'm getting to is these plaques right here. They're talking about Oak Grove, a sapling grove campground. This site served as campground for trial travelers from the earliest days of the Santa Fe Trail in the 1820s, noted for its excellent spring. This location provided wood, water, and grass, key requirements for a trail caravan on the move with people, wagons, and livestock. Traders bound for Santa Fe and trappers headed for the slopes of the Rockies, favored Sapling Grove as a point and a shakedown campsite near the Missouri frontier. And they talk a lot about this interesting thing and what they did here at Oak Grove. This is historical Kansas City Historical Trails Association. This is very interesting, some of the things that they by 1838 missionary travel on the trails was well underway. That year, missionaries William Gray and Crushing Ells and their wives stayed at Sapling Grove. Gray described the campground as 8 miles from Westport and where a little stream ran northwest, and that stream is a creek that runs back there somewhere. But basically what I'm getting at this point is that that entire, you can kind of see it off in the distance. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit there. You can see it. So you had your eco-friendly preservation area of just nothing. That's basically the same shit as this. It's overgrown grass, some indigenous foliage, plant life, just overgrown. Just they basically didn't hire a company to come and mow it. That's it. This and that entire area used to be nothing but trees, wild trees like this one here. See how big that is? I bet you if we drilled a hole in that and counted how old these trees are, they probably date back much further than the 1800s. And they want to call that little patch of overgrown grass an eco-preservation area. It's nothing but overgrown grass. When the entire fucking complex, the entire thing used to be nothing but trees, indigenous to the area that people used to use during the Santa Fe Trail. They would stop here and they would use the trees for firewood and this little creek that they have going through here for water. And so that's where they get their discount from, is overgrown grass. And that's the thing that's mind-blowing to me, is that they have the audacity to say that when the entire facility itself used to be nothing but wildlife. Just period. It was just indigenous wildlife. That's what that entire ground used to be. In fact, when they erected a school, there's a school next to me. It's an elementary school. They didn't destroy the entire oak grove to build the school. They built it within the trees. And, you know, and like I said, I can't demonize them for wanting to build an apartment complex. But the thing is, and they can even have it high scale like they want it. But the thing is, the only thing that makes me mad about the whole, oh, hold on, I found somebody's ball. I'm going to throw it back over into the schoolyard. So the thing of it is not so much that, it's the fact that they want to call that overgrown grass environmental protection, when the fact of the matter is that the entire place used to be indigenous plant life, just indigenous wildlife in general. You will find deer, foxes, there's a red robin right there, tons of indigenous wildlife. And they got rid of the economic preservation area to build the complex and then have overgrown grass and call that economic preservation. That's just stupid. So I don't think that they deserve a discount on their electricity. But the thing is, there's not a problem really with doing it and having that upscale, because honestly the entire area that I walk through of all those, there's houses and everything, is a mixed economy area. You have houses, and you could tell by, if you drove through the area, that you'll see low-income houses. So you see low-income houses, middle-class houses, and kind of into the upper-class category houses, all within one block. So it's a mixed economy area, but then the moment they put that complex in, the property values skyrocket to such that that's no longer the case. And they're pushing people out. They really don't have anywhere else to go. This is their last turn, their last stop. And they've kind of ruined that. I don't know what the fuck that is. So, I wanted to do a story on that to show what it is that this complex has done and the impact that it's had on the economy surrounding it. And I don't have a problem with them being there. I don't have a problem with them being upscale. That's not the problem. The problem is that when you affect the rest of the people that live in the area by causing the housing, the property values to skyrocket. And so people who've been living here for years with an expected income or rent amount or property value, and that skyrockets and they can't live here anymore, there's not really a whole lot to go. And it's the same thing, like there's other establishments, not just that one there, which is the Highlands, that's what we're looking at. It's not just that one. They're not the only ones guilty of it. In the area, they've also put in lofts that they built out of buildings that were made in like the 1920s, or somewhere around the 1800s, early 1900s, for the Strang Line Railway. So these are really, really old buildings that they've turned into really, really fancy, overpriced lofts that are causing the property value to skyrocket all over the place in the entire area. Where most of the people that live here, like I said, the houses were a mixed economy in the first place, but the apartment values are skyrocketing, and there's nowhere really in this particular area you can go where you're going to find this sort of deal. It doesn't exist. And so I wanted to take this little outing to kind of show you what it is that this one complex, the impact that it can have on an economy just by being built. And maybe you don't agree with me on that. Maybe you're like, well, it's pushing out the rats to let the betterment come in. And maybe that's your opinion, but where do you want these people to go exactly? Because this is where many of the people who have been here for many years. And now they're finding that they're going to have to find somewhere else to go. So I'm not used to walking that distance. I'm not really a physical activity type person. I'm winded. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button. And with that, I'm out.